How are you, my good people? This is your guy Paul, and welcome back to my channel. It's been a minute since I posted on this channel, and today I'm going to do another brief another brief episode, just like the one I did previously. It's about the driving habits, driving in Nairobi versus driving in Cape Town. Cape Town is in South Africa. This is in regard to the just concluded trip, my trip from Nairobi, Kenya, all the way to South Africa, journeying through 7 countries. If you didn't watch or if you haven't watched all the episode, right from episode 1 all the way to episode 22B, kindly consider doing that, and I'll really appreciate. Kindly consider doing that, and also make sure you subscribe and you hit that like button so that you are notified, and all the notifications, so that you are notified when I make such other beautiful videos. So today we are going to discuss about the Kenyan Matatu Mayhem versus the South African highway rules. Okay, so in this we are going to discuss about how the contrast between the Kenyan driving and the South African highway regulations, as you saw on my previous episodes. So this is actually especially when you are driving in Nairobi, it's very unpredictable, especially in terms of the roads and in terms of the driving cultures. But when you are driving in South Africa, you are going to see the different cultures. You're going to see the discipline in driving, and you're going to see the whole picture, like how a safe driving should be as compared to driving in Nairobi. I just give you a disclaimer. These are my own views. My own observations. Remember, I did not tour the whole of South Africa. I only toured Zeerust. That was our first town, Zeerust. Then Kimberley, then Belfort West, then Cape Town, then Simonstown. Then from there we went to Cape Agudas. Then from there we went to Vans Hydrop, something of that sort. Then we crossed the border. So I did not tour all the states. Do you call them states or provinces? Okay, I did not tour all of them. So don't crucify me. Okay, I did not go to Joburg. The chaotic in Joburg is more or less the same as what we have in Nairobi, though Nairobi is more chaotic as compared to Joburg. South Africa, Cape Town is more organized. So anyway, without much further ado, I want to pose this question to you as a viewer. Imagine a world where traffic lights are a mere suggestions and road signs are artistics. They are just artistics and they are a mere suggestions. That is what you get when you come to Nairobi. We do have street lights, though they are not that many as to what we have in South Africa, but they are just a mere suggestion and a road sign, or simply an artistic road sign. But they are not there to be followed. That is what you find, or what you get when you drive in Nairobi. But actually, this is this is totally different as compared to South African expressways and South African freeways. Okay, so now when we talk about the different cultures of driving, as a Kenyan, you're going to notice we have very chaotic matatus versus what we have in South Africa as disciplined driving. Those are two different scenarios. In South Africa, we do have disciplined driving. So guys, I want you to buckle up, because you're going to understand, because your understanding of driving, it's about to get a serious upgrade. Okay, subscribe. Okay, so now let's have a contrast of the two countries, or of the two capital cities. Remember, South Africa has how many capital cities? Are there 3 or 4? I know of Pretoria, I know of Joburg, I know of Cape Town, and there's another one. I don't know whether it's Durban. Not sure about that. Maybe you can correct me on the comment section there. So now, I want you to, for a minute, you my viewers, I want you to forget about what you knew or what you have read about traffic roads, road rules. Because in Nairobi, navigating matatu seems like an extreme sport. While in South Africa, precision is the key. word here. In South Africa, precision is a key word. Remember, I told you in my episode in South Africa, I don't know why this spot that I shoot this video, there are so many black ants. I don't know why. They love this space. In Cape Town, remember I told you as I was heading towards Van Drop, there was a time I was flagged off by a traffic cop. Reason being, I ran a stop sign with the catchers in me, the Kenya catcher, the Nairobi catcher in me. I could not spot that stop sign, and I just drove past it. And in a matter of time, a police traffic siren behind me, and I was pulled over. And luckily, that police was gentle. He was very gentle with us. He listened to us, and he allowed us to go with a warning. He told us that's a warning. Don't do that again. When you see a stop sign, make sure you stop. But when you come to Nairobi, that is something you read. That is something that is only taught in schools, driving schools, but it is not practiced on our roads. Okay. Again, when you talk about the unpredictable roads, especially when you talk about roads in Nairobi and roads in Cape Town, you're going to see those are two different worlds that are separated by how you steer your car wheel. Okay, I don't know whether you got that point. Those are two different worlds where we talk about the South African roads and when you talk about the Nairobi roads. I'll give you a very good example. Those who are in Kenya, if you have used Mombasa Road, when I talk about Mombasa Road, I know it's a very long road. It's around 480 kilometers, but I'm not talking about the whole road. I'm going to talk about the road from Mlolongo, where the Nairobi Expressway starts, the road from Mlolongo all the way to Westlands or Wayakiwe. Yeah, all the way to Wayakiwe. One thing you're going to notice is how lanes add. Lanes actually add there without notice. Like you may be driving on the inner lane, that is on the fast moving lane. In just like a few kilometers ahead, the lane just ends abruptly without a notice, like without any sign that the lane is ending. So you have to merge to the second lane, and don't forget the second lane, it also has other very fast moving vehicles. The third lane, the fourth lane, all those lanes have very fast moving vehicles. So I don't know what the engineers in Kenya, specifically the Kenha engineers, what they were thinking while creating an inner lane that is ending abruptly in the middle of the road. I'm not an engineer myself. I'm not an engineer, but if I was the one tasked with there is a lorry that is passing. If I was the one who was tasked by designing that road, I would make sure the outer lane is the one that actually ends if the space is not enough to fit all the four lanes. Okay, so anyway, that was not what we were to discuss here. Then something else that I would want you to realize is about your personal experience. So I want to ask you a question, especially my fellow South Africans. When I talk about South Africa, let's just generalize it to Southern Africa. That is capturing countries like Botswana and Namibia. Not Zambia is also in Southern Africa, though driving in Zambia and in East Africa, no much difference. I will talk about the Botswana, South Africa, and Namibia. Okay, so I want to pose this question to you. You think you are a good driver? Do you think you are a good driver? I would actually challenge you to come and survive for 5 minutes on the Kenyan Matatu route. Just survive for 5 minutes driving on the Kenyan Matatu routes. Okay? Now, these are the routes actually I would want you to drive. One, Juja Road. For those who are in Kenya, they know Juja Road. Try Juja Road. Try Jogoo Road. Juja Road, Jogoo Road. Which other road? It's very famous. Manyanja Road. Yeah, I think Manyanja Road. Try those roads and try surviving for 5 minutes while driving here. And I'm telling you, it's going to challenge you whether you are a good driver, cause it's an extreme sport. Okay? Now, my fellow Kenyans, I have been to South Africa but I can tell you how smooth the South African freeways are as compared to what we have here in Kenya, Nairobi. Okay? Haya. Now, this is not just about speed limits. I'm not just talking about speed limits. It's about a complete cultural reset behind the wheels. That is when you shift from Nairobi, Kenya, and you go all the way to Southern African countries. We're not just talking about the speed limits. First of all, the speed limits in South African countries, it's way above what we have in Kenya. In Kenya, the maximum speed limit is 110. That is on the superhighway, 110 kilometer per hour. And in most places, it's 100 kilometer per hour. But what I realized in Southern African countries, on the highways, you can do up to 120 kilometers per hour. So you see, in terms of the speed is a bit it's a bit high as compared to what we get here in Kenya. Now, something else you're going to notice is the culture of driving. In Kenya, there is no courtesy. There is no courtesy in driving. It's each person for themselves. Each person for themselves and God for us all. Yani, what I mean, when you hit our Kenyan roads, that is when you're behind that steering wheel, you're not guaranteed of your return. You're not guaranteed of your safe return home. That's why I'm saying it's God for us all. It's God to protect you while you're driving on the road, because an accident is just a blink of an eye. Yeah? It's just a blink of an eye away from you. Okay? Now, I'll try and attach a video and show you how these matatus are driven on the highway. And part of this is actually contributed to the police, the traffic police. Traffic police here, majority of them don't enforce traffic rules. Majority of them don't enforce traffic rules, but what they do, they just create toll collection booth. Toll collection booth, that is bribes. Because what matatus typically do, every morning before they start their trips, you'll find traffic police lined up in all major highways. And the main purpose is not to inspect vehicles, is not to enforce traffic rules, but to collect bribes. So what they are going to do, they will collect like 100 bob. 100 bob is like how much South African rents. I'm going to put there. I'll do the conversion. I think one South African rent is equivalent to 14 Kenya shillings. So anyway, I'll do the conversion there. So they'll be collecting like 100 rents, or simply like 100 Kenya shillings, or like 200 Kenya shillings. Now what is going to happen, that matatu is given a certificate. It's given a virtual license to break all the traffic rules ever known to a man in that one entire day. And what are the results? A chaotic driving and a chaotic road, and safety below the minimum. Okay, safety is reduced to below the minimum. Okay, so now something else that I would like to talk about is the chaos and the matatu experience. Now, understanding matatu is more than just a transport, but it's a cultural phenomenon. So I know my fellow Kenyans here are going to come and they're going to attack me, or they're going to be in contrary with what I'm saying, because okay, generally matatus in Kenya is more of a culture than just a means of transport. It's more of a culture. You're going to see a lot of graffiti. You're going to see a lot of graffiti on our Kenyan matatus. You're going to see what else? The music, the music that is very loud, and generally it's like a way of living for the Kenyans, for the better part of Kenyans who use public transport. So I would not judge them on that, but the only area I would really want them to improve is on safety, because there is no need you ride on a matatu that is well pimped, that is well built. You have so many extras inside the vehicle, but then you're not guaranteed about your safety, whether you're going to get home safe. Okay, now something else I would also want to know is that the unwritten rules in Kenya. In Kenya, you are going to find a sign a traffic sign that indicates the speed limit is 50. Those mandatory traffic signs. The speed limit is 50 kilometers per hour. But guess what? The unwritten rule in Kenya is that don't drive at 50 kilometers per hour. You know what is going to happen? The car behind you, it's going to ram on you. It's going to hit you on behind, and you're not going to like the experience. So what you're going to do, you as a Kenyan, or you trying to drive in Kenya, there's an unwritten rule that when you see the car in front of you is slowing down, just don't slow down, just drive past it, whether there is a speed bump. Remember, in Kenya, as I told you, we do have speed bumps, different from in South Africa. In South Africa, highways don't have speed bumps. But here, when you see a speed bump and the car in front of you is slowing down, what you do as a Kenyan, the unwritten rule is you just overtake that vehicle. And actually, pardon me. Actually, all of this is facilitated by the traffic police, because what you're going to find is that you're going to find traffic police when you try and drive slow. They are going to try and push you. They're going to try and tell you drive faster. Like, wait, let me not spill the beans. Okay. Then something else is that about accidents, how they are a missed call, or how you trying to navigate through the streets. Now, even for the pedestrian, leave alone the motorist, for the pedestrians. Remember, I told you here, street rights, or as they call them, robots in South Africa, they don't work. They don't work, actually. Even if they are working, no one follows them. So you as a pedestrian, it's upon you to know to dash between the vehicles. We have motorbikes here, different from South Africa. We have motorbikes here. They are the craziest. Actually, what is likely to kill you on the Kenyan roads are the motorbikes. Those ones are the easiest to kill you. So when you spot them, when you're here in Kenya and you spot a motorbike, kindly watch your steps. Watch your steps. A vehicle is unlikely to hit you as compared to a motorbike. Okay. Now, let's talk about the South African orderly highways. Talk about South African orderly highways. Now, for a Kenyan, you're going to see a different reality at all. So, when you talk about the rules of the road, you're going to notice that South Africa has a very strict enforcement and driver expectations. For example, when it comes to speed, I saw speed cameras actually. I saw traffic police actually enforcing rules, not just collecting bribes on the roads. Then when you talk about infrastructure and design, you're going to notice that South African highways are well maintained and enabled structures driving. They are well maintained to a point that they are going to enable your driving to be as smooth as possible. Now, I highlighted that some time back in my videos, and I noted that South African highways are well marked. When you talk about marking on the Kenyan highways, you hear that rolling? When you talk about marking on the Kenyan highway, that only happens when the contractor is on site, when they are doing road construction. But after the road construction is complete, no one actually bothers to maintain that road, to mark the highways. But in terms of build quality, there is something here I'm going to disagree with my South Africans. In terms of build quality, Kenyans build their roads, especially the highways. They are built well as compared to what I saw in South Africa. But in terms of road maintenance, South Africa, especially those the old mamas, the old ladies, the old women actually that we are maintaining those roads, wearing the orange overalls, they are doing a very good work. Here in Kenya, no one bothers. Okay, I know some of you will ask me, why would you say Kenya highways are well built? I'll talk about in terms of width. You see, the asphalt level you find in South Africa is maybe this level. I saw some, especially the roads in the Free State, the one that heads to Lesotho. You find that the thickness of the tar is this. I don't know whether you can see this length, but the thickness of the tar on the Kenyan highways, it's somewhere close to like how many millimeters. I'm going to put the millimeters there so that you understand. Kenyan highway tar is so thick. That means that highway is going to last for long. But the only mistake we don't do, after the contractor is done, we don't maintain. We don't paint the road. If their road infrastructure, the road furnitures like the guardrails, if they are broken or if they are stolen, they are never replaced. Road signs, once they are stolen, once they are vandalized, they are never replaced. So that's another challenge that we have here in Kenya. Okay, now let's talk about the human element. That is the driver psychology. Matatu drivers now. Matatu drivers, being a matatu driver itself is an art of negotiation and assertive maneuvering in traffic. That is you being a successful matatu driver. The whole scenario is an art. When we talk about South Africa, we talk about the expectation of predictability and adherence to the K53 system. You know what I mean when I talk about the K53 system. Then when you talk about the different environment, even a South African driver, when they come to Kenya, within a matter of time, they are going to adapt to the driving culture in Kenya. Remember, me from Kenya, I was able to adapt to the strict rules of driving in the southern region. Okay, now I didn't want to make this video long, so I'm going to just summarize it and say in both countries we have pros and we have cons. Okay, so I cannot sit here and crucify one country, say one country is better, the other one is bad. No, because when you talk about matatus are readily available as compared to taxis. I know, don't crucify me, I said those states that I visited, not the whole country, but there were so many hitchhikers. There were so many hitchhikers in South Africa, so many hitchhikers actually on the highway. But here in Kenya, surprisingly, there are no hitchhikers. There are no hitchhikers, and there is no one who is going to offer you free transport, or there is no one who is going to who is going to carry you on the highway with a private vehicle. So if you don't have your own private car, you either use taxis. Okay, sorry, when I talk about taxis, not the one in South Africa, I mean cabs. You either use the cabs, the likes of Uber, Bolt, you use those ones, or you use a public vehicle, that is matatu. But one thing about matatus in Kenya, they are everywhere, even at your doorstep. When you wake up at your doorstep, there is a matatu there. Don't know what's wrong with the road behind me. Today it's quite busy. There are so many lorries trying to create that commotion. So matatu, that's an advantage. They are readily available whatever time you wake up, even midnight, even 12 a.m. at night. You're going to find a matatu next to where you live. So that is something I would say is positive. Also, for those people who love partying, in matatus, it's like a party on wheel. Do you see those parties, those party bus, those tours bus from Cape Town to towards those beaches? You see those vans? I saw those vans along the highway. Matatus are like that. They are like parties on wheels. So it's something that is, if you love loud music, if you love too much noise, it's something you're going to like, it's something you're going to love. But if you, it's a bit sunny and I'm sweating, if you love a quiet place, there are some matatus that are quiet. Here we categorize them into circles. Different routes have different circles so that they have their own rules. Okay, something else I also don't like about matatus is the way they are driven. They are driven like the driver is on a death row, or he is asked to deliver some souls to their masters. Okay, like 30,000. You see, like this one here, this is Toyota Land Cruiser Prado. This is J150 if I'm not wrong. This could be 2018 or 2019 model. Do you see this car here that you're seeing in front of me? This car is twice the price, sold in South Africa. So if a South African buys this car at if they buy this car at 1.5 rands, if they buy this car at 1.5 rands, Here in Kenya, this guy is going to go for 2.5 to 3 million rands. The same car here. Taxes here are like 100% more than the running cost. That is a CF. Is it CINF? You see, guys, here, check on my left hand side. This is a 2-lane here. It's a duo. But you see one lane on my left hand side. The matatus here have occupied that lane. You see there's a footbridge. But the passengers are not supposed to join the highway on that side. They're supposed to join on that other side. But here, the lawlessness in our matatu sector. You see, that is a matatu. This is another public transport vehicle occupying a whole lane. You see, another one there occupying another whole lane. This is, imagine this is along a busy Nairobi Mombasa highway. That is an international road equivalent to an national road in South Africa. Okay, and you can, okay, on my right hand side, that is expressway. Of course, expressway you cannot stop. There is no stopping, it's not allowed. And surprisingly, on my left hand side, like 200 meters, here we have the police here on my left hand side. There is a way bridge. You see a way bridge? Do you see all those lorries there? That's a way bridge. You can just imagine the level of impunity on our Kenyan roads by the matatus. And no one seems to care. The traffic police don't seem to care at all. And now, while we are on it, because we are discussing about transport, I saw, okay, these are my own views anyway. My South African people don't crucify me. I saw that in South Africa, people there, the rich don't drive these Toyota Prandos. But here in Kenya, you see there are very many. Actually, in every 10 cars that you count on the Kenyan road, like 2 or 3 are going to be Toyota Prado. Either this one, the J150, or I don't know whether it's 2. Yeah, either this one or the V8, the other one, the LC200, LC300. Those are the more common cars in Kenya for the rich. But in South Africa, I think the rich, they buy the German vehicles. That is the likes of BMW, the likes of Mercedes. That is what I saw anyway. I think I only saw 2 Prados in South Africa, and they were driven by Chinese. And I also saw another one in Lesotho, and they were driven by Chinese. Probably they are contractors. So anyway, here in Kenya, it's different. Okay, so we measure it. If you have money, anyone who is rich here, they probably have a Prado, either the LC or the J. You see, here we have 2 there parked. It's not clear. It's very another one there being fueled. They are all over. They are all over. Just Prados everywhere. Let me show you another one. There are very many Prados on the highway. You see, there's another one there joining the road. You see what? Another one behind that. You see another Prado there. Let me give them way. I show you. That is Lexus. That was Lexus. That's a Prado. And there could be another one behind that. You see, another one behind that. I told you guys, Prados here in Kenya, they are like taxis. They are very many Prados. Like in every 10 vehicles you count, there are like 2 or 3 Prados in those 10 vehicles that you count. Let me show you another one so that you believe. You see this one, another Prado there. Before we are done with this corner, trust me, we are going to get another Prado, so that you understand what I'm saying. Like Prados here are very many. I think this is their market. There are very many here Prados. There is a traffic cop in Kenya. Traffic police in Kenya, they are very friendly to private cars. You are not likely to be stopped, not unless you are driving a very small car. They only stop commercial vehicles. That is the taxis, the pickups, that is the buckies and the matatus. But they rarely stop, especially if you have a big car like the one in front of me, this Prado. You are actually not, you are likely, you are never going to be stopped by a traffic police, whether you are breaking the law or not. That's a huge impunity. Okay. Something else. You see on my right hand side, These are all trailers. They are trying to compete. You see? They are trying to compete on who has more power to overtake the other. This creates a crazy traffic jam. And let me tell you, these trailers don't have courtesy. They don't have courtesy. They are not going to allow you to pass. And unlike in South Africa, whereby if a trailer is driving slowly, it's going to keep left unless overtaking. In South Africa, a trailer is going to keep left unless overtaking. But look here, this is a trailer on the left hand side, which is on the right. It's on its right path. You see there is one there that does not want to give way. This one on my right hand side, there is one ahead of me. This one does not want to give way. So I have to maneuver and find my way through the left hand side. Imagine having to overtake on my left hand side because there is a stupid driver, very stupid driver, this one on my right hand side. He does not know how to, he knows how to use a road, but he does not want to use the road the right way. He does not want to keep left unless overtaking. Those are the Kenyan drivers. Courtesy at all. They don't have courtesy. They don't have courtesy at all. You see? Here is another trailer. You see this one on my right hand side. It is not overtaking, but it's there stuck on its lane. It's saying the road is for us all. I have a right to use the road. So if you're in a rush, you should have left home area. So I don't know. This is a culture that is in Kenya, but I did not see this one in South Africa. In South Africa, drivers there are courteous. Even the lorry drivers, they are very courteous. They drive on the left, except when they are overtaking. But here, it's the opposite. So anyway, without further ado, I hope you have enjoyed this episode. I'm going to do another video explaining about what you need in each country for you to be able to make a smooth ride, a smooth journey from Kenya all the way to Cape Town. So if you haven't subscribed, please make sure you subscribe, you make sure you comment. If you have any question, please make sure you ask me, and I'll be glad, I'll be very much ready to assist you. Okay guys, so till next time, see you guys.